this is Josh Taylor with Trade Advisor Pro, and I want to thank you for checking out our video today. Now, before we get started with today's free Forex training video, I want to give you a chance to pause this video right now and go to our website. Trade Advisor Pro offers you free Forex training videos, and trade alerts. And folks, you do not want to miss our trade alerts. We send out a bunch of trade alerts every month that are top rated in the industry. We send you our exact trades right to your inbox. Pause the video now. Go to tradeadvisorpro.com/free, and all you have to do is register and then come back to this video, and we'll be sending you a lot more goodies to help you with your Forex trading. Enjoy today's training video. Alright everyone, welcome to today's Forex Market Preview. And this is Josh, and today is April 21st, 2013. It is Sunday evening, Sunday around dinner time actually, in Eastern time, and we are going to go through our Forex Market Preview. We're going to go through several different currency pairs today, and to show you what I'm looking at here, let's start with the Euro USD. Now we're looking at the Euro USD weekly chart, and what I'm looking at here, and by the way, when I do these Forex Market Previews, I am not pre-planning these ahead. You're learning and watching right at the same point that I am. And one thing we see here is historically on this weekly chart that this 3150 mark has been a tremendous key level. It's not right, sometimes right on the line, sometimes it's right near the line, so I want to say ish, but pretty much most of the time the 3150 mark has been a very strong point. In fact, we did have last week a rejection of that level, a somewhat spinning top here, which is a potential of a market reversal. But long term, when we see, look at this chart, we start here where we have this fundamental shift. You know, things have been going down. We have the, nothing goes straight down, except for if you've been watching the yen pairs over the last couple months. But it goes down. We have retracements, down, retracement, down, and so on. And now it's been reversing since, looks like July, end of July 2012. So what we've been getting is a nice run up. We have a pullback, a nice run up, and a pullback, and potentially a nice run back up. So what we're looking for is trying to determine whether we are in the middle of a run up, or if this continued base, that's the continued support or resistance level, is going to hold, because we did have this spinning top right here. Price kind of came up to that level. Once it broke down, it seems to me that we may be sitting here. Okay, let me try to simplify this a little bit. In Forex trading, one thing I run into all the time is when you have great trades, everybody praises you. When you have bad trades, everybody thinks you're the devil. Now here's the reality, folks. Hindsight is 20/20. You never know which market direction the trade is in, especially when you're looking at this, until it's after it already happened. So your job is to best determine the trend. Okay? And right now we are showing uptrend, uptrend, uptrend on the weekly chart. But what we need to determine here is if this turn down right here, since the drop down is pretty significant, whether this is just a retracement on the continuing uptrend, or if this is actually a turnaround point, and now price is going to continue up here and bounce down. Now what I'm looking at is, because we have Euro data coming out that's not been real satisfying, that the Euro is seeming to be kind of topping out at this point, is what I'm kind of looking at. And so what I'm expecting, since price right now is at 130.61, I would expect that price would, based on this weekly chart, to come up to this 3150 mark and at least test it and have a rejection off of that. So that's what I'm looking for there. Now let's go to the daily chart and see if we can find an opportunity off of that as well. And the same thing. In fact, this line right here that I have drawn, which is I've had drawn for a very long time, the 3123 mark, you can see here has been a huge resistance point. But on the weekly chart, 3150 was more like the most accurate level. So with that said, anywhere in the 3120 to 3170 range, I would be looking for a potential sell opportunity. On the daily chart, this thing has been going up, 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 but we're starting to see an easing off of over the last few days. This was, I do believe, Thursday. Let's see, the 18th, 18, 19, 20. Yeah, this would be Thursday, then Friday. So price came up, and the wick on the top was lower, was bigger than the body. Same here. This is showing that price tried to shoot up and had a quick rejection. So I'm expecting the same type of thing, but if you look at it, it's still kind of working its way up. But I am going to be looking for a selling opportunity around 3140 to 3150 range, and put a stop above 3200, and watch this thing take a shoot down. Let's look at the pound dollar. Actually, before we do that, let's go back to the euro again real quick. I want to show you one thing. You see that the fact that we're at 3160? I know, based on where I'm at, that the average daily range on this trading pair has been around 80 to 90 pips, especially about 80 seems to be a good number. So if we can get price to shoot up from today all the way up to another 80 pips, we're going to have a tendency that price has already hit a major resistance point and stretch itself past its daily limit range or up to it, and we could see a pullback off of that. So again, 3140 range is really what I'm looking at to take a sell position, and a stop loss above the 13200 mark. So anyway, daily range, which is in my training course, is a big factor to look at when you're looking at trades, especially when you're looking at taking longer term swing trades. So back to the pound dollar. All right, on the weekly chart, the pound dollar has kind of been in a range bound. It broke below the bottom of this range, but this base here that we have, this support level, remember what we talked about in our previous videos, when price breaks down through a major support level, support often becomes resistance, which we've seen that it has. I would expect that a sell right around in this area, the 53.54, 53.40 range. That yeah, I can say 53.50. If we can get a price to run back up to 53.50, which the problem is that's 120 pips away from now. It may be a little bit difficult for price to do that. We are in a buy position now. I do expect that price is going to move back up to a little bit more. We'll close out some profits, but we're probably going to close that trade early and take another sell position on its way back down. But I would say if price would get all the way up into that range to the 153.30, 153.50 range, that I would sell that and work on putting a stop right above this key level here and having the trade run down to the 150 mark, 1.5 figure range. And on a daily chart, we're seeing the same thing here. 153.00. In fact, let's look at it was 153.20. Let's see, 153.90. Yeah, price has gotten all the way up there. I would say the most common area right in here, 153.42. So I'm going to say 153.30 is really the range I'm going to be looking to sell this pair on. I can see on Friday that price hit it, rejected way down off of that. So I'm going to see if price will retest this thing again and take a sell opportunity. Right now we're in that trade long. We would be making 80 pips gain, and then we would be basically reversing that trade for a sell position. But one thing we need to look at here is that the pound is working its way back up the ladder here over the last few weeks, last almost 3 weeks, is working its way back up from a downward trend. Now what we don't know long term is if this trend is going to continue back up again, back into the original swing, which is around 15300 to 16300, which this thing seems to want to trade in the most, or if we are experiencing what we see right here, which is a retracement and then a continued down push. So I would expect at least for now that we're going to see a good sell opportunity around 15300. All right, let's go over here and look at the dollar Swiss. And the dollar Swiss, let's zoom this in a little bit here. Let's see what I'm looking at. It's been slowly working its way up to some level for the last several years, almost 3 years. But now it's kind of going sideways to some level and almost a flattening out. I don't see a real lot of opportunity on the weekly chart, so we're narrowed down to the daily chart and see if we can see something that might be going on. What I see on the daily chart is this thing has been continuing to work its way down. It's now been working its way back up. Hit a major key level here. I do believe we took some trades around the area. You can see where it's been hitting key levels, and it's very strong off these key levels. but right now it's kind of at a flat area. So I wouldn't want to do anything yet. I may take a buy position here right above the 19200 range, 192.20 most likely. Let's see the low here was 192. Yeah, 192.20 is about where I would look for a potential buy opportunity with this trade. And again, usually when I'm trading these trades, I'm looking for 80 pip stops, but stops beyond these key levels would be very, very wise. But 80 to 100 pip stops allows the market to move and breathe while it's making some serious headway. Now, as the market opened today, we had a huge gap. In fact, holy smoke, yeah, price it gapped down like 20 pips when the market opened. So, yeah, I'm going to be looking to take if I was going to enter this trade, I would be looking to buy this thing at 192.20 range, keep my stops in here, expecting that the fact that we are kind of on an upswing again on this thing, we are in a retracement, and that we would see this thing at least move back up off these key levels. All right, so let's go to the next chart. Let's get the dollar yen. Dollar yen, these yen pairs have been going up like crazy, and we've taken a tremendous amount of opportunities off of this pair. This one in the Aussie yen over the last few months have done very, very well with it. So the problem is here is when momentum is really pushing behind a trade, especially on these yen crosses, they can make a downturn move very, very quickly. You can see right here, this is about a 300 pip drop. Excuse me, in one day. And so you don't want to be in the wrong direction on that. And so we're waiting for these pullbacks, and we did take a buy position when this pullback hit, and we took some pips off of that. We should have stayed in longer. But now we have to wait for a retracement. We had to wait for a key level where price could pull back potentially and take us into a good buy position. Now, you can see here on the daily chart that this 96.45 was a nice resistance point. Okay, price came back. Finally, when it did break through, when it came back and retested, resistance became the new support, and price is continuing its way upward. Now, we are getting a hesitation right up in this level here. Let me draw another line. Right at the 100 mark, actually, right below the 100 mark, where price is right up there right now, and we could have price break back straight up. But you know, I'm not just going to take a position and start buying when price could literally hit this and reject back off it again. So I'm going to be saying 96.50 is a good opportunity to be taking a buy position based on what we're looking at right here. And because we would expect price to, if price comes down, and that's always the game that you need to understand is if price would come all the way back down to 96.45, that this would be a level we could see a turnaround at and a continuing upward of this trend. We have to have a significant enough pullback to do that. And a 300 pip pullback obviously could happen in one day, but most likely it's going to take about a week. So that's where I would actually be putting a buy position if I was to buy that pair. Let's go look at the next pair we have in here. Dollar Canadian. This pair has been up and down like a roller coaster. Not making a lot of sense. On the daily chart, it does look like it is working its way up, but it's working its way up in a very choppy manner that I don't particularly like. We do see that prices kept a nice base here around the 1.25 range, and but unfortunately it just keeps chopping and bouncing and breaking down. So right now I'm pretty much staying on the dollar Canadian. Let's go to the Aussie dollar, US dollar. Alright, let's open up the weekly chart. On a weekly chart, this pair has basically been running between this 101.50 range and the 106 mark right here. Let's thicken these up a little bit. So you can see them. I apologize, I've been fighting a little bit of a cold here. It's been a little chilly where we're at. Anyway, so it's been, you can see very, very, very easily right here where on the weekly chart that has been ranging, especially since about right here. All right, that has been ranging between this 101.50 and 10600 mark. See what I'm saying? And price has really been pushing down, and we're about to come up here. We are 125 pips away. I would be looking for a buy position around that mark, the 101.50 mark. Actually, you might want to even go a little bit higher than that to make sure you get your entry taken in. Let's take that off. Let's see what this low was on this candle. 101.48. You got to add some pip spread, so I'm going to say 101.65 and put an 80 pip stop in there, and you should be set for an amazing little trade. And let's look at the daily chart to see what we're getting. The same thing. Same type of thing. This pair has been very choppy, but it is forcing its way down south. So I would definitely want to be taking a trade around the 101.65 range with an 80 pip stop. All right, so we'll check out our next chart. Pound yen, same thing as the other yen crosses. They've been exploding upwards, but we still have to look for a significant pullback level to find an entry. Yes, we can look back and say we missed a lot of pips, but we can also look back and realize that when this thing pulls back, it pulls back very hard. And so another thing that we're looking at here is we see the yen here right around 148 would be an excellent level to get in. So I would be looking to buy that yen because I think we're still going to continue this upward trend here for a while. If we can get price to come down about 400 pips, which is very easy for this pair to do, then I would be looking for a trade around the 148 level to make a buy position. All right, let's go to the next pair. Euro yen. Same thing. Been shooting up pretty significantly. And daily chart, let's see here, we have the 127.80 range. That would be an excellent opportunity for a buy around 127.80 with about 120 pip stop on this pair. It's been so bouncy. And then I would close out the position at no later than 130, 130.50, 130, 100. So yeah, I would be looking for a buy position on this pair, 127.80. All right, let's see what else we got here. New Zealand dollar, US dollar. Actually in this trade right now as a buy position. I'm going to put this on pause real quick here. All right, yeah, we basically bought this at 84.20. 8400 was the solid base level, and I'm looking for this at this pair. If you want to zoom this thing down a little bit, you can see that we are on a nice continuing uptrend. That this thing is holding very, very strong, and this 8400 mark seems to be a solid level. Now, one thing, we could see price break down into this range. If price does break down in here, I would look to be buying this around 8,300 and expect this thing to shoot back into this old range that we had last March and April, which we did very well on. If you've seen some of my other videos of how last March of 2012 we had over 2,000 pips, about a 32% gain at 1% risk because we traded the ranges on this thing for so long. It did very well on it. But I am looking at the fact that this is continuing an uptrend. We had a significant pullback, and now we are seeing signs of weakening on the southward push from the bears, and that the bulls could be taking over again, and we could see another rally back up. So, but I would not take another position on this. I'm in a position now, but the key levels around this right now are pretty tightened up, and there's some variable factors right now that could cause this pair to go up or down, and so I would just stay out for just a little while. Aussie yen. Same thing. We've seen a 300 pip move as of last week. Excuse me. And now we are looking at a continued upward move. Now, you can see here this one level has been a major factor. And I would definitely be looking for a buy position opportunity right around that level there at the 100 mark. If the price could come back down to that level, we could look at a position to buy, take all your position out at the 105 mark. All right, let's look at the Euro Aussie. Okay, we're looking at the Euro Aussie dollar weekly chart. This thing's basically been in a somewhat sideways channel. It's a bit messy. A downward and slightly to the side. that this trade is going on, but on the weekly chart, it's kind of in no man's land. You would want to be buying here or selling up in here. It's kind of in no man's land, so we need to find something off the daily chart to see if there's opportunities sitting here. Now we can see here that around this 25, price has been going up, 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 and now we're seeing some hesitation. We could see a pullback. I would say if price would come down its way to the 25.40 mark, that we would be interested in taking a buy position on that trade. So yeah, I would be looking at the 25.40 mark, because that would be a nice 170 pip drop from here. That'd be a significant pullback to where we could see some potential upswing back up again. So 125.40 is what I would be looking at for potential buy. Now, I'm not saying that you need to take these trades. I'm just saying when I'm analyzing the market and what I'm looking for, I'm looking for key levels to enter. Now, there's still factors that I need to watch over the next few days to determine whether I'll take that trade. But just doing the technical analysis, I'm looking at specific levels that I can find and take trade opportunities around. Let's look at one more pair on the euro pound, which I love trading this pair. Let's see if what we can see on this, if anything. The euro pound, for the most part, has been somewhat sideways, and now we're kind of an uptrend. It's been working its way up. We did have some pullback over the last month. It's now over the last month been working its way back up. But this is a slow-moving pair because the euro and the pound are very much correlated together, but not always. And so there's a great opportunity to trade on this pair. But even looking at the daily chart, which is a little bit messy here, you need to zoom this thing in a little bit more there. It's somewhat sideways. We do have higher highs and higher lows to some level, and now we have a kind of a rounding off. It worked its way back down, and now it's kind of going its way back up. We do have a base level at this 8,500. That if price would come down to that level, I could see a buy, but I know I'm just not sure. I'm going to be honest with you. It's very messy. So right now I'm going to stay away from the euro pound. I may look at this on a smaller time frame at the 8,500 level to take a trade off of a bounce off the 8,500. But not anything for a longer term trade. So that's it for today's analysis, folks. Hope you enjoyed it, and go back and watch our other videos, and make sure you spend some time understanding what you're doing and how to analyze the charts. And if you haven't got a chance to check out our training course, you should do that. And you have a great one. Folks, I hope you enjoyed today's training video. If you have not done so already, stop this video now and go to tradeadvisorpro.com/free and register absolutely free for free Forex training videos, and free Forex traded alerts directly to your inbox. Go to the website right now and register for free. All kinds of goodies for you. Thanks a lot.